Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. And thank you, everyone, for being so diligent and resilient last week in our first week of online learning. And I hope this week is a little bit easier for you now that we sort of know what's expected and how I'll be doing things. As always, you can reach me through messages on the Google Classroom. And please, if you do need help with something, let me know, and we'll set up a time that I can get together with you on Google Meet and go through it with you that way. So the first thing for this week is our person puzzle, which is going to be on domain and range. And if you remember, the domain is all of the x values or inputs of a function, and the range is all of the outputs or y values or what f of x is going to equal for the function. So what you're going to do is on your separate sheet of paper, and I already gave you an example on the first one here, is it's f of x equals x squared. So you're simply going to input or substitute the negative 1, 1, 0, or 2 into your function and find the answer. And then once you find the answers, you're going to write your range as a set, just like I did here. And then find whatever letter matches or corresponds to your correct answer. Okay, so that's the first thing that you're going to do. And then the second thing that you're going to do, which I'll show you right now, is called area and perimeter with polynomials. And it's really not that difficult to do. It simply takes everything that you've already learned about polynomials and puts it into one thing and applies it to geometry. So let's suppose that I had a rectangle here. And this rectangle, one of my sides measured 6x plus 9. And the other side measured 4x minus 11. And I asked you to find the area of this polynomial. So you know that area equals either length times width or base times height if you're dealing with a triangle. So we're going to use length times width. So my length here is going to be the 6x plus 9. And then my width is going to be the 4x minus 11. And all this is multiplication of factors, which we did last week and a little bit the week before. So you would just multiply the 6x by the 4x, the 6x by the 11, the 9 times the 4x, and then the 9 times that negative 11 there. Okay, so when you do that, you now have an area that equals, so 6x times 4x is going to be 24x squared. And then 6x minus 11 gives you a negative 66x. 9 times 4x gives you 36x, so you have plus 36x. And then 9 times that negative 11 gives you minus 99. Okay, so then your area is going to equal 24x squared. Then negative 66x plus 36 is going to be minus 30x minus 99. And that would be your area for this first shape. Okay, now let's suppose that we had a square. And we know that a square is a rectangle, but what makes it a little bit different is all of my sides are the same. So I have 5 x to the 4th y squared. And that is my side length for all of them. So if I'm going to do my area equals length times width, since I'm dealing with a polynomial or a monomial here in exponents, I also know that an area can be written as side squared. So I could simply just square this monomial and use my laws of exponents to solve this a little bit easier. So I'd have 5x to the 4th y squared, and that whole thing's going to be squared. So when I distribute that exponent to everything in parentheses. That's going to be 25. And then I multiply those exponents, so that's going to be x to the 8th, y, multiply the exponents to the 4th. So that would be my answer for the area of a square here, would be 25 x to the 8th, y to the 4th. You also could have done it the way of using factors over here, where you would have said the area equals 5x to the 4th, y squared, times 5x to the 4th, y squared. And you would have gotten the same answer. Okay, so 25 x to the 8th, y to the 4th is your answer here. Now, let's go back to the rectangle that we had. And this time I'm going to look for the perimeter. So I had this side, which was 6x plus 9, and this side, which was 4x plus 11. So my perimeter is going to equal 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So my length is going to be 6x plus 9. All right, so then I'm going to distribute the 2 to both of these expressions here. And then when I do that, my perimeter equals 2 times 6, which is 12x, plus 2 times 9, which is going to be 18, plus 2 times 4, which is 8x, plus 2 times 11, which is 22. So now I'm just left to combine all of my like terms. So 12x and 8x is going to be 20x. And then 18 plus 22 is going to be 40. So that gives me an answer here of 20x plus 40. That's my perimeter for this shape. Now let's suppose I had a triangle. Actually, let me draw a different triangle. Yeah. So let's suppose my base for this triangle is going to be 3x plus 5. And my height for this triangle is going to be 3x. Okay, so I know that for a triangle, it's going to be base times height divided by 2. So for my triangle then, I would write the area equals 3x times 3x plus 5. Which actually I have that reversed. I mean, this is actually the base here, but we'll still get the same answer. And all of that divided by 2. So when I do my multiplication now, three times 3x, and then 3x times 5, all that divided by 2. So that gives me 3x times 3x. So 3 times 3 is 9x squared. And then 3x times 5 is going to be plus 15x. All of that divided by 2. So your area of the triangle, base times height divided by 2, is going to be 9x squared plus 15x divided by 2. All right, and then for our last example here is I have a shape that is a rectangle, and I have a area that is yellow and an area that is blue. And I want to find the area of the yellow region. Okay? So to find the area of the yellow region, I'm going to first find the area of the entire region, and then subtract the area of the blue region from the area of the entire region to find what's left over. That's going to give me the yellow. Okay, so in this particular situation, I actually have to find 2 areas and then subtract the one from the other. Okay, so let's go to it. So I'm going to do my 4x minus 5 times 2x plus 3. Okay, so 4x times 2x is going to give me 8x squared plus 12x minus 10x minus 15. All right, so then I combine those like terms that are right there in the middle. So I can write this in standard form. So when I combine those like terms, that gives me 8x squared plus 2x minus 15. All right, so that is my area of the outer region. Now to find my area of the blue region, I would do 3x squared, or 3x plus 2, times x minus 8. So when I do that, 3x squared times x gives me 3x squared. Oops. And then 3x times 8 is going to be minus 24x plus 2x minus 16. So then again, I combine these like terms so I can write this in standard form, and that gives me 3x squared minus 22x minus 16. All right, so now I come over here. So this here, the 8x squared plus 2x minus 15, that is my entire region. The 3x squared minus 22x minus 16 is my interior blue region. So if I want to find what is just the area of the yellow region, I am going to subtract this 3x squared minus 22x minus 16 from the 8x squared plus 2x minus 15. So when I do that, I have 8x squared minus 3x, which is going to give me 5x squared. So 2x minus a negative 22x becomes a positive. So 2 plus 22 gives me plus 24x. And then negative 15 minus a 16 gives me 2 negatives make a positive, so that becomes negative 15 plus 16. It gives me plus 1. So to answer the question about what is the area of the yellow region, it's going to be 5x squared plus 24x plus 1. Okay, so now that I have been through that explanation, there is an assignment hanging for you about area and perimeter with polynomials. And go ahead and work that. There's 15 problems. Show me your steps. Show me success. Take a photo of it or scan it and upload it to Google Classroom. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.